What was that experience like? Because I watch your late night sets, and I just like what the first time you did it versus the second. Like,
yeah,
it had to have been nerve-wracking.
Extremely different. The first one was obviously what you would think, way more nerve-wracking. Like, first of all, it was Conan, who, like, James Corden's great, but like Conan was who I was watching growing up.
Oh yeah.
So he's like elevated in your mind even above.
We're close in age. I think.
Yeah,
yeah. What are you?
I'm 37.
Okay, I'm 33.
Okay, yeah.
So like, I remember fucking every night Conan.
Conan
that
was the guy.
The
I mean,
shit.
he's the funniest dude in the world, and he still is, in my opinion. I think he's still the best one going. But like so I brought a crew. I mean, it was like such a big deal. They were like, "Do you want a car?" Because we live like 10 minutes from the studio or whatever. Like, do you want a car? It's like, yeah, I want the car. I want the biggest black town car you have or whatever. Me and my wife were like dressed up even before the show. She wasn't my wife at the time. Or no. Yeah, we had just gotten married actually. Yeah. And so we got dressed up, and like walk out there. We're taking her friend Anna's taking pictures of us just as we're walking into the stupid car. Like, so it was so like
just overdone.
Relishing it. I think I had like 10 of my friends come. The green room was packed, and so you don't see that one. I didn't meet Conan ahead of time. Didn't meet like Andy Richter or anything ahead of time. And so literally they do the show. You're just sitting in this green room with your friends, eating all the free food and stuff. And the show starts. Like, people talk to you and tell you what's going to happen, and they show you the little star that you have to go stand on and stuff. And JP, the guy who was booking it, was like talking me through stuff and everything. They always have like a guy who just books, stand up. And so that was JP Buck at the time. And so then, but like the show starts and you're like, oh wow, the show's starting. And you're just watching it on TV. And they film it just like you would see it at home. They don't like do it out of order or anything. So it's like boom, boom, boom. You're like, oh man, I'm going to be next. And then you're like, your friends all go out into the studio.
Did you take like beta blockers or anything for it?
I wouldn't have even known what that was at the time. I was just shitting my pants.
Really?
I was like so nervous.
Was it the most nervous you've been for anything in stand-up?
By far. Yeah. I mean, I opened for Attell and Joe Coy one time at the Moore Theater.
Yeah.
And I remember sweating through my shirt,
I did what's the Neptune?
Yeah.
With Stanhope.
Oh my God, yeah.
I was 10 months into doing stand-up.
Oh my God. And many people like freaks you out at that point.
Like that, I don't know. More is what, 3,000 or something?
Yeah, it's not as much as it's not it's might be like 1,800. I know it's smaller than the Paramount.
Yeah.
But it's like in between those. But
like 750 felt like,
yeah.
Like the people that do theaters, I can't.
And it's hard because, when you say you're opening for them, like there's no announcement. There's no, you walk out.
Yeah, it's so
they turn the lights
weird.
down and you walk out.
Yeah.
And no one gives a shit about your first 20 minutes. Like,
no.
They're like, all you have to do is be doing good by the last 60 seconds. That's all that really matters.
Yeah.
You know?
So compared to that, though, it was more
nerve-wracking because there was just so much. I mean, and plus, I'm telling everybody, like, I want,
gotta
like,
set yourself
everybody
up.
back home, like, I'm like, I'm gonna be on Conan, why, and also in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna kill it, and then I'm gonna be famous, and then it's all gonna change. I really thought I was like, okay, now, like, it was a line. Like, before I was a broke nobody. Now I've made it, and all these clubs are gonna come calling. All these ones that turned me down, they're all gonna want me. So
and that happened exactly how
how it happened. Look at me now. I'm in this basement.
You're doing my podcast.
Airbnb. So I'm standing backstage by myself, and you're finally on your own after like 4 hours of waiting around. Like you're like by yourself. And there's just these two sort of union dudes talking about their lawns or whatever, and they're just holding the ropes, and they're not talking to you. You're just standing there, and then they just pull the ropes, and you're on TV. I mean, there's no one like petting your shoulder, like, okay, man, you're going to kill it. Don't worry. So you just walk out and you start. Conan said, so then I did my first bit. And if you watch it, you can see it happen. It's like, to me, it felt like an eternity, but it's really a half a second. But I got my first bit out and I got a good pop on like the line on the punchline. And so that like calmed me down so much that like I just went zen and just completely my head blanked, and I just turned over to Conan and like you can see it on my face, but I'm like almost want to say like, what do you guys want to talk about? But then I trip a little bit and then I find it, and it's I don't think you can really notice unless you're
only unless you're. I mean, it's
if you're looking for it, you can see it. But then the Corden one, and then Conan was cool after, and we talked about Seattle and stuff because his wife is from there, and he was super nice, and that was it. And we partied, and it was great. The Corden one was so different because it was like COVID. The Delta was, I think it was Delta or Omicron, one of those was like raging, and I was like, it's gonna get canceled. I just like didn't tell anybody. I was like, it's for sure gonna get canceled. And I fly down there. They test me. I'm by myself. They're like, you can't bring anybody. I'm wearing a mask. So I just walk in. It's very low key. They're on skeleton crew, you know. I'm in this very nice green room. But then he comes and says what's up before the show. So that was different. They do like a little green room bit thing that I did. And I had I think it was like a funny idea for that. And it came off really good. But again, like I wasn't even nervous because it's like you just felt there wasn't like a ton of people around.
Yeah.
And this is backstage. They had a full audience, but like it just felt very sort of like people making shit in their basement or something. You know, it just felt very like low key, and I didn't have anybody with me, so it didn't even feel that real. But then it was like Jessica Chastain and Penelope Cruz were the other two. So they're just over there. But then it's like, I don't know. It was just I was not really that nervous at all for that one.